Happy Saturday, everybody. How's it going? I'm gonna make a quick video here because I won't be able to film. Hopefully, I'm talking louder than the music is playing because I'm at a huge barbecue battle cook-off. Um, there's a live band. It's 8 a.m. So and they're playing real music. So I can't even film any of it. I could try and take some footage for a short and put YouTube music over it. But, oh, geez. I just got set up. A huge turtle just scared the ever-loving crap out of me just now. And, I heard something over here. I'm gonna throw the video up. I took it. By the time I jumped out, he was already past my door. He was, well, we're out here today. Okay. He was right there. Right here. Right here. He was hanging around the tent. I put my umbrella up. Got everything out. We got some lights for the crab. He's got his own little set of lights. Ah. I didn't think it was this big. I thought it was just like a local thing. But yeah, the local bands are here and they already started. They've been playing for like a half an hour already. I think it's about 8:30 in the morning. I just grabbed a spot near a tree so I could hide. So, who knew? I have no idea. Um, I hope everybody's having a good weekend. And this is going to be for a couple of days. It kind of started yesterday, but there wasn't any bands playing yesterday, so I don't know. I guess they were saving it for the saving it for the weekend. Uh, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what to say. I don't want to make a downer video. You read my post. I next couple of next month, I gotta get a heart doctor. I had one a while ago, but somehow this heart doctor missed through an MRI, an EKG, and an ultrasound of my heart that I had 3 clogged arteries, 3 tears in my heart, and congestive heart failure building up, which is a stack of fluid around your heart. Enough said about that. So I got to sit down on the phone with the insurance company and find someone else. Just find someone else. Um, yeah. Uh, I'm on day 3 of the smoothies. Yeah, they don't want me to eat solid food anymore, listing me as palliative care, which that comes before hospice care. So that we all understand where I am right now. I'm kind of in limbo. I'm not even going to get into any of that because I don't want to think about that right now. Uh, it was 99 degrees yesterday in the shade. Under the tree, in the shade, my thermometer was at 99. It's going to be over 100 with the feel-like temperatures, almost like 104 or 105 between Orlando and the East Coast. So it just, summer's here, so if you're on your way, bring a sweatshirt and 1 pair of sweatpants and 1 pair of jeans, because that's all you need. This is not going away. It's going to go away for a couple of days, like 3 days. It'll be back to 85. And that's it. And we're done. We're done for the summer. It's here a month early. Summer solstice is until I think it's June 20th this year. Yeah, me. Um, Having a lot of issues with my voice box and my vocal cords. They're not looking good. I went through this about 5.5 years ago when it very first started creeping from the jaws and my bones down my throat. What they're assuming now is that from here to the beginning of my stomach or my pancreas is defunct. Um, that's why I'm having so much trouble with the food. That's why I'm getting so sick. And the ketoacidosis, with no matter what I eat, whether it's sugar, not sugar, starches, it doesn't matter. We've tried a whole bunch of things, and within 40 seconds of me swallowing 2 bites of food, the keto acid, that was it. The minute that food hit my stomach or into the pancreas, wherever the hell it's going from here to here, that was it. The minute the swallowing process started with the food going down, like the liver turned off, that was it. Pancreas blew up, everything went crazy. So, there's no controlling it. No matter what I eat, it's happening. So their suggestion is that while this is happening, and I could end up having a heart attack from that. My blood is really sticky. My lab tests were a mess, and I got way too much blood. It's way too sticky. It's barely moving, and there's not enough oxygen in my blood because it's not flowing properly to give everybody the oxygen they need. So what I may have to do is find a small oxygen machine, something that runs on a 12 volt, a portable one from Amazon. They have a couple around $300, and see if that works again. That's why I had the ones at the house that I had to give up before I came into the van. So he thinks that being without the oxygen for the last 2.5 years, this is what's happening. So I have to figure out how to get oxygen into my blood living in the car. I can't keep them from the health insurance because they won't let me, because I don't have a home address for them to do maintenance. I offered to bring them in once a month to drop them off for 2-3 days, to have them check them, make sure everything's okay, and make a monthly schedule with them so they would allow me to keep them. You know, that might be nice, people. I had two, by the way, two. Now, meanwhile, they were complaining about the maintenance, right? You're like this. I had those oxygen machines for over 2 years. 2 years. Not one time that they come to get the maintenance. They didn't call. They didn't send no one to the house. Nobody. Nobody came. Nobody called. No letters. We need to check your machine. Make sure it's calibrated and working properly so it doesn't kill you. Number one, they never did that. So that's what I'm dealing with. So I'm better off just getting one on my own. So what I'm going to try is, before I spend the money on the oxygen machine, which I really know I need, they have the cans of oxygen. They're not covered on the insurance or anything like that. So they got a small can about that big. It's got 100 shots in it that you could take 100 puffs off the oxygen. So it's $10 in Walgreens. So I'm going to grab that one can. Then I got to monitor. Well, let's do the right one. On my finger, what's going on. until I can figure out something to do with a machine. What am I at to? 97, 96. I'm usually around 95. That's not bad. Now, I've been testing different things out. He even said caffeine, coffee. He said, I know you don't like the jittery part of it, but the caffeine may help get things pumping, but I got to make sure that it's not putting stress on my heart, so I got to constantly, while I'm drinking coffee. Yeah, these are medical science experiments in the van, okay? Oh, I don't have it here. It fell down. I'll show you later. My blood pressure thing. And yes, I'm a certified triage paramedic, just like the firemen. I trained with the firemen for 6 months, went through, got my certificate because I had to have it because, number one, I was working with senior citizens and veterans serving them lunch, so we had to know what would happen in case somebody started choking or someone had a heart attack kind of thing. Number two, I'm running emergencies and evacuations as a federal first responder, and I run triage, evacuations, decontamination, showers, all kinds of stuff like that. Enough to keep you alive till the ambulance gets there. I don't put in IVs. I didn't want to learn how to do that. I know how to do it, but if it's an emergency, and stitches, we learned that, but I don't really want to do that. In an emergency, if someone's bleeding to death, yes. But I really don't think I can really do that. I'm kind of squeamish when it comes to the blood. So, anyway, we're going to work with this a couple of times a day. See if this is working because the albuterol is affecting my heart. It's raising my blood pressure too much to where it's not a good thing. So now I can no longer, I don't think they're here. I can't use my, this one. I can't use these guys anymore. My heart's too bad to be doing this and setting it off and boom, boom, this will set my heart up to 200. That's not good. And it doesn't come down. 2 shots of this could last like 5 hours with my blood pressure out of control. So we're going with this. This is the part of not knowing what's going to happen to us, trying to figure out, with so many chemicals we got poisoned with, nobody knows what's going to happen next. So, or even how we can treat it. Normally the stuff we treat it with doesn't work. Everything is total opposite, and they can't figure out which of the 157 toxic chemicals, what combination is making our medication that should be helping us kill us. And that's the bad thing. You got to try something once, and it's a crapshoot. It really is. It really, really is. At this point, everything that we use from here on in, he told me, would be actually considered right to try right now. I know. So, trying to get my mind right. Yes, Richard, I am trying. So I took a few days I get very cranky when I don't eat. I'm a cranky bitch when I don't get my food. And it is really hard to live on liquid. And I don't mean oatmeal, mashed potato. No. 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 Nothing thicker than a milkshake. That's it. No food. Okay, you understand? There's a lot of stuff that's off the list. It's very depressing. I had to do this a while ago, back in 2019, for about 6 months when they put me on food restriction for the first time. And it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. But it's better than being on a feeding tube, which is actually where I would be right. If I were in a hospital right now, they'd be shoving a feeding tube into me for a couple of weeks just to try to get shit under control. So we're doing it ourselves with the blender, and they put me on notice because everything is high. Most stuff went over the limit, that I am still on day-to-day notice of having a heart attack or an irrecoverable stroke after eating. That's what happened with my girl. Probably the best friend I'd ever had in my entire life. She was the most beautiful person, inside and out. There is nothing that Robin would have not done for anybody, anything. She volunteered at like 6 different animal shelters in New Jersey, in New York. She worked with PETA. She did wonderful things for them. But Robin died. Robin went home after a long day. She made this huge pasta dinner, meatballs and spaghetti and garlic bread, and we know because a couple of friends, the first responders, were the ones that went and found her because nobody had heard from her in 3 days. And Robin had a massive heart attack that tore her heart in half because of the contamination. That's something called connective tissue disorder, we all have. That's why my heart has little rips in it. One's getting bigger, but the other two are still the same size, which is good. It's good because I've been able to keep my blood pressure down through all of this BS. But yeah, that's how Robin died. Robin died because her heart tore in half because the skin on the heart is getting very thin. The walls of the heart, the thickness of the pieces itself are just turning into tissue paper. Um, uh, so if I don't want that to happen, and I'll save the gory details of what happens when one of your arteries rips open right here in your throat because you're having that kind of heart attack. It also happened to a friend of mine, Maz. Robin was 45 years old when this happened to her. Maz was 39. They all did a lot during Hurricane Sandy too, so a lot of getting recontaminated once Superstorm Sandy came and flooded us out. All that crap in the Hudson River now is on our land, in our dirt, in our houses. That toxic water, everybody was in it up to their waist. And yes, it's still toxic. So that's that. That's where I am, trying to get my mind right, Poppy, and just deal with it. I'm just trying to deal with all of this. So the doctor said he figured it with the heat coming, and this week maybe it'll make it easier for me with the summer to transition into eating out of the blender. It'll be so hot so fast. I really wasn't hungry yesterday, so it wasn't so bad, but it's hard to eat without chewing. I mean, you could go a day or two, but imagine try going a week with just drinking. It's like you didn't eat, and it's your mind. It's not the stomach. It's not that you're not full. It's the act of chewing since the day you got teeth. That your mind associates food eating with chewing, and when you don't chew, your mind and your stomach are like, where's the food? We drank something, but we didn't chew and swallow food, whole something whole. It's a whole thing trying to outsmart your body into thinking you're full. Um, so okay, I got that out. Um, there was something else. Oh, the bone spurs on my back and the herniated disc have gotten bigger and worse. That's why I'm having so much pain with this one thing on my spine. Um, the bone doctor has been consulting with other doctors because eventually the deformed bones and the herniated disc and the disintegrating disc are going to end up pinching, and it's already, my spine is twisting. It's distorted in different places. It doesn't go straight up and down anymore. It's got little zigzags like this in it, like, it goes like this and it goes and it sticks out like this. Those things can press on the nerves. It can cut off your breathing. It can make you go blind. It'll paralyze you, and depending on what part and what nerve it pinches and cuts off, could either be from the waist down, can be here where it cuts off your lungs. If y'all, that's how Stephen Hawking ended up in a chair with his distorted body, was his bones cutting off all the receptors doing stuff. Okay. Um, so I stopped her there because I didn't want to talk about that. I said, we'll worry about it when I get up and I can't walk. Uh, she's been talking to a couple other doctors. She found some that do use chloroform would be the only way to put me to sleep if it were a tissue operation, like muscular, or even operating on the bones. Operating on my nervous system and my spine, he said he wouldn't even think of trying it. This is an older doctor. He's in his 60s. He's the head of anesthetics, the anesthesia department in a hospital here. And he's worried because nobody really uses that. There's Army medics only do it. If I could try to find a doctor in the military who's a combat surgeon who uses chloroform to operate in the field, because they don't always carry around those bags because they can't knock you out for like 9 hours out there. Okay, they use that as a triage anesthetic, but there's just nobody who uses it anymore. And he wouldn't trust anybody to do it, where we're not worried about him killing me at that point. We're more worried about me waking up. If for 1 second I start to wake up during that operation while they're operating on my spine, and they're in there with that little bone saw cutting off those little nubbies, Are you kidding? I just jerk like that while he's going, okay? You can figure that one out. There's no way. Even strapping me down, I would just, my whole body would jerk awake, before my mind woke up. So there's no way to keep you from moving. There's really no way to know if the chloroform really would work. And on that kind of thing where they're cutting through nerves, that takes an awful lot of anesthesia to keep you out so you don't wake up when they start hitting nerves. Nerves are different than cutting you, on your muscles. That's nothing. You start touching the spine, you're lucky they can keep you asleep under those operations. So it was a long couple of days the other day, and I got to talk with a lot of people, and it was just a good day to end up being there, that they were slow, and there were a lot of people on duty now because the summer's here. So they got more doctors on duty than they normally do, from 9 to 5, after hours, say. Um, so we got a lot of consultations. A couple of those doctors made some phone calls just to make sure. They had friends at the VA, and they're like, I don't think so. Like, there's just no way. So, and there's not much I can do about this. That's it. It'll go until it goes, and eventually it really won't. It depends. You could lose the ability to speak once the vocal cords get too sloppy. If they get pulled too tight, you can't speak. If they're too loose, like limp spaghetti, you can't speak, and they can't really get in to see how bad the voice box is. But my throat is being bent in a weird way because it's yanking on my main vein on the right side, and everything is pulling. My neck is twisting to the left. The whole neck, everything is just being pulled. If you see my wrinkles, everything is going this way. And we can't stop that. There's no way to stop it. They could if we could put a couple of pins and some things, and that's a lot. Even if I could, that's a lot. It's a lot. I'll hold up some cards. It'd be like one of those videos where you just hold up the cards with all the writing on it and you don't speak. Um, so that's that. Um, I think that was about it. It was a long couple hours in there. They were really nice. I saw like 5 or 6 doctors. Different people kept coming down and then walking me back and forth, and someone only had 5 minutes, and they would push me in the chair to the MRI, and then we went back down. We had to take x-rays and MRI, and then they did a little quick ultrasound real fast. And my sternum is still not looking, it's worse than it was the last time. It's disintegrating because it's a bone. So we're having issues with that. When I cough, he wants me to hold the pillow on my chest, like they do with people had heart surgery. Um, I don't know what the pillow does, but that's what he wants me to do. So I'm gonna do what they say, get into the swing of this, and I'll be back. I'll be here and there. I'm just dealing with a lot, and don't feel like crying on YouTube anymore. So that's what's happening. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I gotta get out of here because I see more bands pulling up. It's gonna be like Battle of the Bands and Battle of the Barbecue. Oh, crap. It's gonna be loud. I'm not gonna be able to film anything. and everybody's starting to pull in. So let me move my stuff outside. It's starting to fill up. Have a good weekend. Thank you for the thoughts. And I gotta try and get charged up right now. I'm in half shade, half sun. I'm gonna have to sacrifice electricity, so this is gonna be the only thing I put up for a day. Okay, and I'll throw the turtle short up and see you guys Sunday afternoon. Um, yeah, Sunday afternoon or Monday, okay? Um, because I'm gonna be hiding from the sun and just getting by on bare minimum. So I won't be able to waste my entire battery uploading a video, okay? I'll see you guys on Monday. I'm leaving. I promise. This is it. I'm out of here. Gonna go find some more turtles. Oh, the turtle, they found him. He's still alive. And he's walking fine. He's a little beat up. But he made it. Okay. Turtle Man is still there. Um, See you Monday, everybody. Bye, everybody.